Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Hi, here's Bill Wendell. Good to see you all. Thank you. And welcome to Tell the Truth. Our first guest is a man of the cloth, a clergyman. He is also more than that. He is a surgeon. And as a surgeon who is also a priest, he is deeply concerned about the ethics of modern medicine. We'll learn more about his theories and his concerns after we've met our panel here on Tell the Truth.
Bill Cullen. Peggy Cass. Henry Morgan. And Kitty Carlisle.
Panel, our first guest is an odd combination indeed and should bring up many and varied questions. Let us meet our priest surgeon.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is the Reverend Dr. George Shoup.
Number two.
My name is the Reverend Dr. George Shoup.
Number three.
My name is the Reverend Dr. George Shoup.
And what we got to figure out is which one truly is the Reverend Dr. George Shoup, and this is the story. I, George Shoup, am a Jesuit and a doctor. I am probably the only priest surgeon in the entire country. As recipient of the first medical ethics scholarship given by the Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. Foundation, I am trained to deal with both the ethical and biological considerations of life and death. Modern medical advances have created enormous dilemmas. Questions arise daily concerning human experimentation and the prolongation of life. Consider the question of organ removal and transplant. When donors are limited, as they are, who should receive the precious organs, a corporation president or a needy mother? Eventually, genetic surgery will present ethical problems too. Theoretically, it's possible to take a cell and grow it into a human being. Will our laboratories then create slaves or, quote, fighting men? What bothers me is that science or the medical profession alone may be given the power to make these decisions. I strongly feel that the future of mankind depends on the proper balance of modern scientific breakthroughs and traditional humanist values. Signed, the Reverend Dr. George Shoup. Now, we'll be back with what I hope will be some pretty penetrating questions after a word or two from our sponsors.
You asked for it, and we got it.
Show us your garter belt.
A full throttle 3-hour block of Match Game, Match Game, Match Game. Weekdays at 5 on BUZZR. Let's play.
This is the one who helps everyone stay safe. An unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial grade products you need. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pop quiz. StockX is all about the sneakers, streetwear, apparel, accessories, all of the above. From the greatest grails to the latest trends, everything you need is here. Plus, you can trust that every order is StockX verified, backed up by a buyer promise. Ace your style. Level up your back-to-school shopping at StockX. Start shopping today at StockX.com.
As a gynecologist, I'm embarrassed to say this. We use deodorant on our armpits, and we kind of make women feel bad about body odor that they get on other parts of our body. That's why I created Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, controls odor for 72 hours. Soap can't do that. And since your pits and privates go everywhere you go, keep them confidently fresher with Lumi. That reassurance is priceless. To learn more, go to lumideo.com.
To improve your digital security, just turn on NordVPN.
Guard yourself from data snoopers, encrypt your online traffic, and block malicious sites. Get the deal now.
Now, we have three gentlemen across the way, and they all stoutly say that they are George Shoup, a Jesuit who is also a doctor and a man deeply concerned with medical ethics. Let's start with Bill Cullen, please.
Dr. Shoup, were you a priest before, were you ordained before you became a doctor? Number two, were you ordained before you became a doctor?
Yes, sir.
How long were you a priest before you began to practice medicine?
Right after ordination, I went to medical school.
And number one, do you work as a doctor now? I mean, are you actually working as a physician, or are you consulting, or what is
As a surgeon.
You work as a surgeon?
Yes.
Number three, where do you do your work?
Jefferson Medical School in Philadelphia.
Number three, how often does the conflict between the theological and the purely medical scientific, how often does that arise in your work?
It doesn't.
Number two, you too are a surgeon, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What kind of surgery do you do?
General surgery, as a resident.
Number one, what exactly, define general surgery. What areas of the body, for instance, are affected?
Well, I would be mainly concerned with mastectomies, lymph glands, and abdominal cases, things of that nature.
Now, staying with you then, number one, have you been called upon to give your opinion, or to, in a study group or something like that, to give your opinion as to whether or not an organ transplant is right or wrong or ethical or moral?
I have not been called upon yet, no.
Is that...
Thank you, Bill, and we're going to go, please, to Peggy Cass.
Well, number one, is there a committee who decides who'll get the kidney or what? I mean, how do they decide stuff like that?
There is now a committee connected with the hospitals. Previously, there was not.
Thank you. Number three, I know of another Jesuit doctor. Have you ever heard of another Jesuit who's in medicine?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. Number two, which province are you in?
The Maryland province.
And number one, which province are you in?
New York province.
Thank you. Number one, where'd you go to medical school?
Which number?
Number one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. In California.
Thank you. Number one, who's Eamon Taylor?
I don't know.
Thank you. Number two, where did you go to medical school?
To Yale University.
And you're from the Maryland province, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, number three, is your surgery mostly mastectomies and stomachs, or do you do a few arms and legs too?
Yes, we do amputations also.
Uh-huh. What year of medical school are you in?
I'm in my second year of my residency.
Thank you. Where'd you go to Theologate?
My Theologate was at Woodstock.
Thank you very much. Number two, where'd you take your Theologate?
At Woodstock College.
And where is it?
We got a buzzer, and we're going, please, to, you had a very knowing look in your eye, Peg. We got a buzzer, we're going to Henry Morgan's.
Number one, where's Woodstock?
98th Street.
Don't ask me, I'm not telling you.
Number two, in general, how do you feel about abortions?
I'm opposed to abortions.
Entirely?
Totally.
Number three, same question.
I'm totally opposed to abortion.
I see. And number one, I assume you go along with that.
Yes, I do.
All right. Number two, would you tell me why you're opposed totally to abortion?
Well, I think on a theological basis that in the Catholic faith, we believe that at least in potency, from the moment of conception, a human being is in existence.
Suppose that there were a case in which an abortion would save the life of, say, the mother.
I think those cases are extremely rare, if ever, have in fact occurred. There are, I could think perhaps of a real extreme case in which, nothing could possibly be done. But even there, I think we have the option of a cesarean section or something to save the child.
All right, Henry, good question. We're going, please, to Kitty.
Thank you. Number three, I'm interested in the ethics of transplants. When do you feel that a person, the donor, is really dead?
Well, I would say when the brain waves have ceased to function.
And you think then it's fair to take the organ and give it Yes.
Yes, I would
Thank
say
you.
so.
Number one, you have a committee now, you say, to decide who gets the organ. On what basis are these decisions made?
Well, first of all, we have to get acceptance or authorization to have the organ, and then they would have to determine which person is the most needy one to receive it.
I see, but not based on who's the most important.
No.
Number three, do you believe in artificial insemination, which leads me to the cell growth of a human being?
There experiments have been done in England. I mean, yes, sure, for experimentation, but
you have to
hasn't gone
experiment on live people.
Well, not really.
You have to, with the artificial insemination, yes.
Experimentation along these lines, of course, have been done in England, but it has not grown more than 6 months.
Oh, yeah, you misunderstood me. Number two, I mean, do you believe in artificial insemination for human beings?
Yes, I do.
Number two.
I think.
All right, we have got ourselves a bell. Tough questions, but good ones and fair ones. And time now for us to make up our minds and vote. I'm sure lots of questions are on that side, too. So let us vote now for number one, or for number two, or for number three. And
Growing up, I had a serious issue with my relationship with food, so I joined Weight Watchers. Never looked back. I've lost 70 pounds, and I learned to embrace every version of myself along the way.
Washer's all washed up. I love it.
AC went kaput? That's cool.
With a home warranty from American Home Shield, every day is a good day for a breakdown. You don't have to worry about the day when something stops working or expensive repairs. Because when surprise breakdowns happen, AHS will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers affordable plans for every home and options to tailor your coverage so it's just right. With more than 50 years of experience, they know how to keep you smiling when things don't go as planned. It feels good to be right when things go wrong. Get the protection you need with American Home Shield. Sign up today and get $100 off any plan with code AHS100. Visit AHS.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS for this special offer.
Watch this. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. The problem will disappear before your eyes with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Plexiderm trial. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping.
$50 for each wrong vote. We pay the group $500 if nobody comes up with the right Dr. Reverend Shoup, Reverend Dr. Shoup. And Bill Cullen starts, please.
These are difficult spots because they're both highly specialized fields. I was all set to vote for number three until he said the time of death was when the brain waves ceased to function. And I think the interjection of waves in there sort of put me back on number two, who thought out very carefully what he was saying as far as the abortion subject was concerned. Like, you know, a lot of people would be watching ask questions.
All right, and so we have a two showing, and we're going to Peggy, please.
Well, number one didn't know his own provincial, so I knocked him out of the box. And number two, I don't know. When number three said, I am totally opposed to abortion, I believe that he was totally opposed to abortion, so I voted for him.
We've got a two, and we got a three, and we're going to Henry Morgan.
Boy, this is something I really know nothing about. But number three said something that put me off. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't have to know what a provincial is. I assumed a man knows what his own provincial is. I take it's a region or a district that has something to do with the mother church, right? I should talk to you more often. And well, with one thing and another, I thought of number two's not being glibber as a negative. I thought a man who's convinced knows he's convinced and just says it.
Yeah.
So I voted for number one.
All of those reasons are valid, and so we've got a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and the majority vote is going to be cast by our Miss Carlisle, who was led astray by Peggy, right?
Yes, because I'm sure that a Woodstock, whatever it is not at 96th Street.
That's exactly where it is. That's where it is.
It is.
Sure it is.
96th Street?
98th Street.
98th Street. Well, I voted for number one.
I thought Woodstock was up in the Catskills with the grass and everything. No, huh? Well, all right, there we go. The votes are all in. Will the real Reverend Dr. George Shoup, sir, please stand up? In the middle. Thank you, sir. Tough team. Number one, sir, tell us about yourself.
My name is Bill Farley, and I'm a personnel supervisor for Halcon International Incorporated.
Number three, quite convincing. Tell me about yourself.
My name is Bart Hanaho. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania, and I am a trust investment officer for National Central Bank, and I am totally opposed to abortion.
Dr. Shoup, I don't think it was actually established as to where you are currently a doctor and where are you as a Jesuit?
I'm at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland in my second year of residency in general surgery.
I see.
And I live at John Carroll University, which is a Jesuit university in Cleveland.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Dr. Shoup, and thank you, gentlemen, for a most interesting several minutes. Take care. That's a tough decision for a fella to take two careers which are so much in argument with each other. It takes a great deal of courage. Auto safety is an important issue these days. There are new government regulations coming up, and private citizens are concerning themselves with the problems. Detroit is hard at work, we hope, trying to comply with these needs and requests. Today we have a very enterprising guest. He has developed a new style of automobile with safety the most important factor. So don't miss this. We'll be right back.
This is not a radish. Looks very much like my car. You can tell with the little lipstick.
Alex Trebek explains it all for you on Classic Concentration. Weekdays starting at 1.
At over $4 a blade, shaving every day gets expensive. Harry's 5-blade razor offers me a close, comfortable shave. Best part, refills are as low as $2 each, half of what I paid before.
Go to harrys.com/shave to claim your $7 trial.
Most people call leaf filter when their gutters are clogged and they notice one of the many issues that can bring. Well, sometimes it's the smell of mildew when water has seeped into the interior walls, or maybe they've spotted mold in the attic. But most often, it's the more obvious signs of damage, like rotten soffit, fascia, or water pooling near their foundation. You can get ahead of costly damage by protecting your home's gutters today. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help.
Schedule your free gutter inspection today. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
University of Maryland Global Campus is a school for real life, one that values the successes you've already achieved. Earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience and get the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. What will your next success be?
Now let us meet our automobile innovator.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Malcolm Bricklin.
Number two.
My name is Malcolm Bricklin.
Number three.
My name is Malcolm Bricklin.
And here is Malcolm Bricklin's data on safe driving. He says, I'm Malcolm Bricklin, I'm the creator of the Bricklin, a super safe sports car. Take a look at the Bricklin as it purrs along the road. And you'll notice that the lines are still beautiful. He hasn't sacrificed the lines just for safety. Now note the innovative bumpers, which are engineered to withstand crashes at double the current federal standard. Pretty on the inside, and the gull wing doors are a unique Bricklin feature. They're hydraulically powered and they open up instead of out. The surface of the Bricklin is an acrylic sheet as thick as 50 coats of paint. If the Bricklin is scratched in an accident, a simple buffing will restore it. And for maximum passenger protection, the entire passenger area is enclosed in a steel roll cage. I am proud to state that the Bricklin, right now, has every safety device the federal government is expected to mandate in the next few years. It even has some they may not even think of. Signed, Malcolm Bricklin. And Henry Morgan, good friend, we might start with you.
All right, Mr. Bricklin, number one. You say that the Bricklin car has some safety features the government may not think of. Such as what?
Well, one that comes to mind is that we surround the gas tank on 5 sides. That's all for this way and on top, so that if there's any impact from the rear, the gas tank goes down.
What good is that?
Well, it gets the gas out of the car, and then you don't have to worry about it if it's on fire.
Oh.
Burning car.
Yeah, well, I...
Think about it, Henry.
Think about it, yeah. There's something wrong with that, but I just think... All right, let's bring it up now, okay? Where I live in the summer, I live down a dirt road. And my problem is the crown of the road keeps hitting the bottom of the car. So my gas tank ain't got no place to go. You know, if it gets hit a lot, why didn't you protect the bottom?
Drive my car. Then you won't have that problem.
Number 2...
See there, Henry?
Number 2...
All right, let's go on, please. We just got a buzzer. We're going to Kitty.
Well, I'm going to give you a present, whoever you are, Mr. Bricklin, because I invented something myself. I invented the retractable bumper for people who drive in congested cities. Number 3, have you got retractable bumpers on your car?
No, they're not retractable, but they're impact-proof.
But wouldn't it be good to have retractable bumpers if you're hedged in on all sides when you're parking in the city?
I think it'd be wonderful.
Well, we'll work it out later, huh? Number 2, why is it good if the doors open up that way?
Well, first of all, it's very pretty if they open up. And
But it takes up more room.
No, it really doesn't take up more room. I believe we can open the doors up in around 10 or 11 inches of space.
Ah. Is it good for safety?
Oh, my. All right, we got a buzzer going down to Bill Cullen.
Number 3, there was another automobile some time ago that featured the gull wing doors. Do you know what car that was?
Well, the Mercedes 300 SL had gull wing doors. That's the only one I know of that's in, commercial.
Number 1, these gull wing doors being hydraulically operated, don't they, does not that contribute to the overall expense of the automobile?
A little bit, but it seemed to have been worth it at the time for merchandising and marketing purposes.
Number 2, I understand that this car, although very safe and a good-looking car, is not outlandishly expensive. What is the proposed selling price for the Bricklin?
It is selling now, and it sells for $7,500 complete.
And number 1, if a person...
And Peggy Cass, please.
Number 2, where can you go buy one?
There are a couple hundred dealers in the Northeast United States who are handling the car now.
Thank you. But number 3, does this car come off an assembly line or is it handmade?
No, it comes off an assembly line.
And where is your assembly line?
In Minto, Canada.
Oh.
Which is in New Brunswick.
Oh. Now listen, number 1, about that gas tank. I mean, supposing you just had a little bump and you lost your gas tank, I'd be wild. I mean, I'm bumping into stuff all the time.
You're asking for an engineering description, and I'm not an engineer, but I do know that this, in a rear-end collision, when you're hit from behind, and it is of sufficient impact so that it could rupture a gas tank in a normal automobile, this car doesn't rupture it, it spits it out.
But now, number 3, I want to know about that gas tank.
All right, Peggy, we just heard the little bell ring, and when we hear that, that means pick up your crayons, make a number, make a 1, or make a 2, or make a 3. And Henry, if you have formed an opinion, we'd like to see it in the form of something graphic. There you go.
This is a weird vote. It's really weird. Now, but
Doesn't surprise me.
A little weird myself. Number 1 said, I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me that only a non-engineer would have started to do this car. Right? Well, we'll see.
We'll
so
see.
I voted.
We got a 1 down there, and we're going to get it.
Well, I have an equally weird reason. Number 3 and I are going into business, so I didn't think it was fair to vote for him. When I saw the car, the man who was holding the wheel had on a sweater. I could see his arm had a sweater on. So I voted for number 2. He's got on a sweater.
That's the dumbest reason.
No telling it. The fellow in the movie is the same as the fellow over there. However, you voted for the sweater, and so we've got a 2, and we're going down to Bill Cullen.
I thought of voting for number 2, and I said no, because since that picture was taken, he changed his sweater. But I imagine that was... No, all the answers were good. Number 2 looks like a fellow who might bring out something a little bit new, and for that reason, I voted for him.
A pair of twos and a one. And Peggy?
If your assembly line were in Minto, Canada, you'd wear a sweater too. I voted for 3.
All right, we're all up and down the line, which proves that we've got a good bunch over there. The votes are in. Will the real Malcolm Bricklin please stand up, sir? Mr. Bricklin. That's great when the votes are spread all out. Number 1, sir, what is your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Tom Cox, and I run the C.E. Hooper Company.
Oh, a rating service. Yes, sir. And number 3, tell us about you.
My name is Dennis Warner, and I'm the skipper of the Lord Jim, which is a West Indian charter yacht.
A very famous one, magnificent vessel. Just out of curiosity, Mr. Bricklin, Peggy was voted for you, I think, because of the sweater. Was that indeed you? Oh, was it Kitty?
Yeah.
Were you indeed driving the car?
No, it wasn't.
It was. You mean that in this world of automobile design, there are 2 sweaters?
There are 2 sweaters.
Fascinating. Thank you very much, Mr. Bricklin. Thank you, gentlemen.
Da Vinci gave me twice the pits and private parts, which makes me smell twice as bad.
A PU?
That's why I use Mando whole body deodorant. The manly deodorant for all the manly crevasses of my manly body.
Mando, he smells good.
Mando doesn't just block odor all day. It controls odor for 72 hours. With cologne quality scents. Roma wasn't built in a day, but with Mando, you can smell good for 3 of them. So if you want to smell better naked, then go to shopmando.com today.
Hello, I'm former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A lot of times you can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. You can't fall asleep or you're tossing and turning all night. You can't get the sleep you need to stay healthy. I know, it's scary, unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try it. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed, earning your body those quality hours of sleep that it desperately needs.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people who've experienced the relief and health benefits from getting a great night's sleep and get Relaxium Sleep.
The first time I took Relaxium and I slept through the night, I thought, wow, this worked for me. I could not believe it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed.
Relaxium Sleep worked from the very first night I took it. I had more focus and mental clarity than I've had in years.
Relaxium is drug-free and not addictive, so you can take Relaxium every night and never worry about side effects. And the best part is, it can start working from the very first night.
When I take Relaxium Sleep, I sleep better than I have in years.
I wake up feeling like I've had the best night's sleep.
Stop being afraid and start sleeping your fears away with Relaxium Sleep. Your body and your mind will thank you.
Mike Huckabee is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles.
If you're not getting calm enough to go to sleep, take Relaxium Sleep. I promise you it'll work.
Get your risk-free bottle of Relaxium Sleep now. It's guaranteed to work or your money back. Visit tryrelaxium.com or call 800-418-1635. That's tryrelaxium.com or call 800-418-1635.
You know, here in New York, I'm much more concerned about the safety of the drivers than I am about the safety of the car. In most cities in the country, if somebody holds their hand out the window like that, that means he's going to turn left, right? Mm-hmm. In New York, driver holds his hand out like that. That's in case he misses you with the automobile, he can slap you in the face as he goes by.
This is Bill Wendell speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodman, Bill Chapman production.
One